What's the coffee really like in Paris? This week I'm going to be showing you some of the best cafes, taking a deep dive into the cafe culture, and also showing you a behind the scenes look of a busy Parisian cafe. Welcome to A Barista Abroad. Arriving in Paris, one of the first things you'll notice is the obvious nature of the cafe culture. You'll often see streets lined with tables and chairs where you can sit, have a morning coffee, and enjoy a pastry. So of course, that's what I did immediately. The coffee you'll find at more traditional cafes tends to be quite dark roast, which means it's quite a bitter flavour. This is, however, what they are going for, so it is nice to experience. And when you have a pistachio pain au chocolat that is this good, it's worth it. We of course can't talk about Paris without talking about the sights. On my way over to the next cafe, I managed to go past the Eiffel Tower and also the Louvre, and they did not disappoint. And neither will this next cafe. Now, Coret is renowned for its chocolat chaud. It's an amazing hot chocolate topped with thick, indulgent French cream. Let's check it out. This is correct. Hopefully we can get a table. I want my croissant. Let's see it. This is the moment I was waiting for. Thick French chantilly cream with essentially melted dark chocolate. It was around 12 euros per person, so quite pricey, but I think it was worth it. So we're just going to chuck this straight on top. As you gently combine the cream and the chocolate, it's going to melt, creating the silkiest few sips of chocolate you'll ever have. The cream is so thick. Look at that. Why not? Perfect combination. Needless to say, this place was absolutely amazing. But what is the specialty coffee like in Paris? So we are currently on our way to Terre de Café. Terre de Café is a great example of the specialty coffee that Paris has to offer. I was lucky enough to be invited over to do a few shifts, so we're going to find out what the specialty coffee is really like in Paris. The whole sector where this cafe is located consists of many different specialty coffee shops, which is a really nice contrast to the more traditional places that I've seen so far. Come on then. Out of the 4 days that I worked at Terre de Café, one of them was spent entirely learning how to make all of the drinks to their standards and how to use all of the equipment. So I'm going to briefly show you how they do things at Terre de Café. The machine they're using here is a slayer. The important thing to know about a slayer is that you can quickly change the pressure by just pushing a button. So with this machine, when that button is pushed in, there will be a 24-second pre-infusion of 0.5 to 0.7 bars of pressure. This is kind of like a bloom when you're making filter coffee, and it will just gently infuse the coffee with hot water before then the more obvious extraction takes place, which is done at 7 bars of pressure and is expected to come out in between 19 to 23 seconds. That is, however, just the recipe for this first day I was working. The recipe changes every day as they have such a wide range of coffees that the barista who opens that morning is trusted to pick an espresso and then dial in the recipe for it. This is why it took me an entire day to do my training before I was even allowed on shift, because they take their coffee very seriously, and I'm very serious about coffee, so I appreciate that. The last thing that I think is important to note is how they make espresso for milk-based drinks. You see, when you warm up milk, it naturally caramelizes and brings out a lot of sweetness. With this in mind, when we look at espresso extraction, the latter stages of extracting espresso actually tend to bring out more sugars. So taking these factors into account, if we just added steamed milk to a regular pulled espresso, the drink wouldn't be very well balanced. This is why they under-extract their milk-based drinks. So for a macchiato, they are just doing a single shot, but they're stopping it at 15 milliliters and filling it to the top with steamed milk. For a cappuccino, they're also doing a single shot, but they stop it at 17.5 milliliters of espresso. They do it in a 6-ounce cup and they have steamed milk up to the top. A flat white, however, they're stopping at 30 ml, also in a 6-ounce cup and with steamed milk to the top. So a flat white is essentially a double shot cappuccino. After a hectic day of making espresso based drinks, I thought it was time to take a moment to enjoy a French press. After enjoying French press this morning, I wanted to see how much coffee's best friend was, the croissant. On my way over to Terre de Cafe for day 2, I ended up checking out a few croissant places and seeing how much they were. So we just got a filter coffee and a croissant. Croissants were €1.30, filter coffee was €2.50. So $3.80 for your breakfast. Croissants are all baked fresh. You saw the baking racks just lined up there. Perfect. Un croissant, s'il vous plaît. Un croissant? Oui. Pour les tickets? Merci. After being slightly underwhelmed by this second croissant, I found what was probably the best of the entire trip. Sainte Boulangerie is somewhere you have to visit. Look at all of those beauties in the display case there. Probably another new cafe in the works, another bakery. But enough of croissants for now, let's get back to coffee. The next 2 days at Terre de Cafe mainly consisted of working behind the bar. I learned how to improve my latte art as well as experience what it's like to work in a specialty cafe in Paris. Spoiler alert, it's amazing. Here's actually a clip of me and the head barista Bruno, and he's just got his new crop of beans in for the year, which he's sampling so he can give some feedback. So this is
the new crops. We are doing the first roast.
Ah, okay.
So I need to try and give my feedback to the roasting to see if it's good, if it's enough, it's well done.
Yeah.
So it's the really fresh crops of this year.
Oh, amazing.
Colombia, it's an Arabic washing process, a rose bourbon. It's a coffee that's called the South Huila. Mm-hmm. It's a really nice coffee that we buy this coffee since 5 years now.
Okay.
And it's the new crop, so we are going to
just making sure. Can I try? Okay. You may have seen people drink espresso before and see them mix it in with a spoon like this. What I'm doing is folding all the layers in to make sure it's mixed thoroughly, and when I sip it, I'm getting a complete overview of the whole drink. Make sure you don't sip the spoon afterwards. Some people like to give the spoon a little lick afterwards, and that will just give you all the bitter flavors. So that's how you drink an espresso. This one was lovely. On my final day at Terre de Cafe, I wanted to ask about the new innovations that Terre de Cafe had to offer. This is Cascara Pulp, and it's actually a product that comes from the coffee plant, which is often wasted.
So the idea is to use a product that comes from the coffee, from the tree of the coffee, and replace in a good way and a nice way and show all the potential of the trees of coffee. And we do infusions like we do teas.
What I learned was that the coffee plant can actually be used for more than just coffee beans. You see, this is the coffee plant here. It also has leaves and cherries which contain the coffee beans. Now what the cafe here is doing is processing these cherries in the same way as the coffee so it can be then brewed as a tea. It's called cascara, and this is what it looks like. As well as this, you can process the leaves, so you can dry out the coffee leaves to provide green tea, lightly toast them to provide a white tea, or fully toast them to provide a black tea. And doing this allows you to provide options for tea while still using coffee.
We have 3 types today to replace the most common teas that we can find in the coffee shops. We have the version that is white.
Yeah.
This one will be the sweetest with more easier to drink, something with more balance. We have the version that will be the black one. This one you'll be going for the black tea with more power, with more strength, with more body. And you have the green one that will replace like a green tea that will be more fresh.
After being briefed on all the different tea options, if I can say tea, it was time to brew them and taste test them. So we have black, white, green and cascara. Let's give them a go. So this is like a sweet, regular tea almost, but it's much sweeter. Let's try the white one. Much more herbal. A bit more floral, a bit more earthy. Still nice, but this is still the best. Green. Tastes a little bit like spinach. I like spinach. So this is much more like a plant, but let's try the cascara, see what it's all about. The best way to describe this is like a blackcurrant squash. It is so delicious. These two. And I'm going to be buying both of these and trying them at home, giving you guys some recipes and trying to figure out where we can get these from over in the UK and the US. While the teas were impressive, this was even more impressive. I was about to be shown a World Championship winning Ebrick recipe. You see, Ebrick, or Turkish coffee, is a very traditional way of making coffee. You may have seen traditional Ebrick being done over hot sands, but nowadays you can just do it over a flame, just like this. The head of coffee for Terre de Café, Pierre, actually won the championship in 2023, so I'm going to learn his recipe and the coffee that he used to win the championship.
To do a good Ebrick, we need to control time.
Yep.
This is for any kind of extraction. Time is really important. The recipe that we are doing today is 17 grams in for 150 grams of water.
Okay.
So the coffee that we are using, it's in Ethiopia.
Yep.
A honey process. It's an heirloom. It's the most classic Ethiopia that we can find. It's made by the Dukali brothers. It's the third year that we buy this coffee from them. It's a really beautiful coffee that you taste red fruit, raspberry and strawberry, and has a really long chocolate finish. In the Ebrick, that will be amazing. Will be really full, really coating, silky, really long. So it's quite nice. We will start to choose our coffee.
Pick out the imperfections.
Exactly.
At this stage in the process, we're going to start picking out imperfect beans. This is to make sure when we grind them up, it's all ground consistently. And as you can see on the right here, the bean is imperfect and cracked open, whereas the bean on the left is perfect and sealed.
So it's really finer than a regular espresso.
The grind size of Ebrick coffee is almost as fine as your grinder can go. More fine than espresso, but not so fine that the burrs are literally touching. Almost as fine as it can go.
It's almost as fine as possible. Exactly.
Now we add the coffee to our Ebrick and add 150 milliliters of 60-degree water. We add 60-degree water because we want to control the amount of time that the water is boiling for. Therefore, by setting the original water temp at 60 degrees, it won't be boiling for over 2 minutes. We then use a small whisk to mix together the grounds in the hot water before putting it on the flame and turning the flame up to maximum heat. As soon as it reaches boiling point and starts to bubble to the surface, take it off the heat and serve it straight away.
And now you serve straight away. And you need to serve the entire Ebrick because you want everything that you extract. Here you go. Just add the last drop. There you go.
Now that our coffee is ready, there's a specific way that you should drink Turkish coffee as well. And it has a lot to do with the shape of the cup.
A Ebrick cup, you have different shapes. You have one shape that is straight, and at the end you have this roundness larger than the rest of the cup.
Yeah.
And this is where the powder of the coffee powder, you rest after the 3 minutes.
What Bruno is referring to there is the lower ridge of the cup, which you can see is slightly larger than the rest. This catches all the ground coffee to make sure that you're not drinking coffee grounds. If you don't believe me, here's what I thought of it. It's so good.
It's really good, yeah.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing.
You're welcome.
Thank you. After getting a few lessons from Bruno, he packed me a little goodie bag to take with me and it was time to head home. So what is the coffee really like in Paris? Well, it's traditional, it's cutting edge, it can be social, it's quick, it's essential, it's art, It's something you have to try for yourself. I'm Connor, and this has been A Barista Abroad. Thank you for watching. Let's get going. No. I salute you! Take a deep dive into the Paris coffee culture and try and not say Paris about 100 more times. The sun is coming out tonight, today. It's about to give me perfect lighting. Ooh. Hurry the fuck up. Scenes, and also showing you a behind the scenes look at a busy Parisian cafe. Welcome to A Barista Abroad. All right.